Hello. How do I start this video? So I have an announcement to make about, this sounds so ominous, but the state of the channel. It's really not ominous. It's good news. The thing is, so many years ago, I made this channel. It was actually my second YouTube channel. My original one, Sul Hadain, was a anime and video game AMV, like fan music channel that I used when I was in middle and high school. Growing up, the internet was my social life. It was my creative life. And it was all just free out there for the world. I started writing stories when I was 10, posting them on the internet, fan drawings and art on DeviantArt, videos on YouTube, recordings. I made songs. I mean, that era when the internet was first with us, when it was the first generation to really grow up with it, we were so creative and so free with our creativity. It was a really fun time. So college comes around and I was an English major and I fell in love with writing and fell in love with constructive writing about books and movies and games and thinking about them creatively. It started as a blog on Tumblr and picked up a little steam over there, and eventually I got the idea, I guess, to edit one of my thoughts into a video, and that's where this channel came from. I made the Angela video on my mom's Mac. I didn't have a microphone. I just put text over a video, and it was a hot mess. There's an audio glitch in it, but it took off for the time, for just making one video a year, maybe two. I think I had 3,000 subscribers by the 2015. It was a pretty decent amount, to my surprise, and I just did it for fun. It slowed down when I graduated from college. You know, I was out in the world, getting a job, getting my first place, but eventually, unfortunately, around 2018, I started to get very sick. Sick enough it started to impact my daily life. Sick enough that I eventually started losing my jobs, losing the ability to move and work as I usually did. Eventually circumstances led me to moving back home with my family. And thankfully, I have a very lovely, supportive family who were kind enough to stand beside me even when my situation, not everyone would have believed. I had an invisible illness, an invisible disability, and for many years, no one could figure it out. And I just got sicker, and I got sicker, until there were times where I couldn't even get out of bed for months, for ages, where I was so sick I couldn't hold a job, I couldn't leave the house. My world shrunk to about the size of my bedroom, and it's kind of miraculous I made it through, and part of it I do credit a lot of it to YouTube, to all of you. I started going back to making YouTube videos during that time because what else was I gonna do? And I ended up starting making some money on it. It was never a lot of money. I say this only because I think being straightforward about that might help other folks understand more of the inscrutability of YouTube. I've never made more than $1,000 a month off YouTube, and very rarely that. In part, I was still very sick, and often too sick to make videos even. But the fact that I was able to make money on YouTube gave me some of my dignity back. It made me feel like I was contributing. Being so disabled, it can feel so easy to feel like, why am I even alive? Why am I even here? Because you're not able to do anything that we're told is what life is, you know? To hold a job, to have a family, to start a relationship, to raise kids. I couldn't do any of that when many people my age were. And so YouTube gave me that outlet to feel like at least I'm accomplishing this. And it was a social life. Many of you have been here since the beginning, and I've had, yes, a parasocial relationship with, but a kind of internet friendship with many of you that kept me sane through many years of severe isolation, of not being able to keep that kind of relationship with most people And I'm very, very grateful. And thank God, about 2 years ago, my luck finally turned around and we figured out what was happening. We found a solution. And over the course of 2 years, I've had a major surgery. I've had a lot of pills and treatments, and I am alive again in a way that I don't think I have been for 10 years almost. For almost 10 years. It's a long time to go without everything that makes life normal. And now that I'm here and I've had this big move, for those who don't know, I've had surgery in March, I recovered, I'm doing so much better, and I moved to be near family down south in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's a lot of big life changes, and still a lot more coming, where I'm reevaluating now that I can do things again, now that I can be alive again. You know, what do I want with my life? What do I want to do with my life? And now that I'm doing so much better, you'd think I could jump on YouTube and try to really work hard and make some money. And the truth is, I don't want to. YouTube has only really gotten much more difficult in the last couple years. You'd think they are so big. They're the biggest, like, internet video platform around, probably, maybe, one of them. And yet it is inscrutable. It is so hard to tell how to make anything work on YouTube. And for me personally, I have fallen into this rut where the only videos that succeed financially are usually Silent Hill, and only really Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those are some pretty old games, not including the remake, that I've made more than 100 videos about this series. I've made dozens about each of those games. I've written books about them. How much more can I say? And the idea of having to really buckle down and try and do what would be necessary to make this into a job is not only daunting, but I don't want to. It just sounds awful. And it kind of hit me when I realized I didn't want to play Silent Hill F. Just not, because YouTube has turned it into such a chore. It feels like it's not fun anymore. And the reason I started YouTube, the reason I started all this stuff, posting things for free online, was because it was fun. And I enjoyed these games. I enjoyed talking to other fans about them. Now that I don't have to, now that I am healthy and I am graced with the opportunity to choose another path, I don't want this to be my job. And that's not to say this is the end. It's not the end. I love YouTube. I love doing the analysis and talking to folks and sharing things. And I don't want it to be my job anymore. What does that mean for you? Well, it will mean less Silent Hill videos. I mean, I've already kind of been doing that the last 2 years, trying to branch out into other things. But mostly, it's going to mean a little bit of a change in the style of what I make. The Gaming Muse started as a blog. What I love is writing. Writing and researching is where this all started. And when video editing became such a big part of it, it ate up a lot of the time that I used to spend on writing. It became so much more to try to do the editing, to do the audio, to do the promotion, to all the things that just take up so much time. It took away from what I really enjoy. And I think that's what's going to go first. I'll still make, edited videos sometimes, but what I really enjoy with you guys is the live streaming and the discussions we used to have, which went away when I didn't have time for them anymore. But I like being able to share my thoughts and feelings and discuss it with people. And so I think I want to go back to focusing on the writing. I want to go back to focusing on discussing it, on doing live discussions, readings. A lot of folks have always loved my audio content, so I could write what I'd like to say and then read it in a more professional setting and then just discuss it with you guys. And no professional editing of video content has to happen. I do want to still make some videos, like the one I posted recently about Heaven Official's Blessing. That's the kind I want to keep doing. I think I did a really nice job with that. I think it's really pretty. And maybe a video like that once or twice a month would be so much fun to make rather than having to cram out basically, to make money here, I think 3 or 4 videos a week about Silent Hill, only Silent Hill, and even then, I still was only making poverty-level wages, which was, you know, more than I could make at the time doing anything else, but now that I have the option, I want YouTube to be fun again. So what are we doing? Well, one, every video on my channel is now public. A lot of folks have complained in the past about the private membership, about the fact that many of my older videos became private because I needed a way to encourage folks to be members. It's gone. It's done. You can see any video on my channel going all the way back to the first one. They are all public. Another thing that will change is the Patreon. The Patreon's never really grown very large. It's always kind of been there, but never gotten bigger because it's hard to integrate YouTube and Patreon. It's just not very easy. So I'm going to change it. Patreon is going to be solely dedicated to writing. That'll be video game essays, the books I've already written, also fiction. Whatever writing I want to share, I will put on the Patreon. And so if you are interested in that side of it, if you like my books, if you want to read video game essays that way, it'll be available. You could also check out my original fiction if that's something that you'll be interested in. So it's all going to go over there. YouTube will solely be videos, game streams, live discussions, and yes, also some edited content, but not as many and not as heavily dedicated to Silent Hill as it used to be. Eventually, I would love to just turn off all the ads and the monetization. Right now, while I'm settling into my new place and figuring things out, I'm going to leave it be until I'm more stable and more sure that turning it off isn't going to be a huge mistake. Mostly, it'll probably be the same. If you're a person that shows up for my live streams, not much is going to change. We're going to play games, we're going to talk media, we're going to have fun. If you're really only here for Silent Hill, you may not see as much in the future. I still love Silent Hill, and I want to play Silent Hill F, and I will get back to all those things. But I'm not gonna narrow my view down so much to Silent Hill. I want to make book videos. I want to talk about The Ring. I want to talk about Don May and the books I'm reading. I want to talk about Fatal Frame more because I've really fallen in love with that series and it doesn't get enough attention. And there's other games I haven't played yet that I really need to get to. Quite a few that have been given to me by devs or by other folks. So I still will be on this channel and I still want to do fun stuff with this channel. I guess I'm just I'm letting y'all know the change in focus, the change in some of the content's availability, that you can now see everything, and that I'm going to try and just do more audio and more writing content. I hope that's okay with everyone. And I understand if you don't stick around because maybe this isn't what for you. I really wish YouTube had an option to let people have feeds they could follow, where if you like Silent Hill, you could follow that feed of mine, and if you like Don May, you could follow that. Unfortunately, YouTube is YouTube, and it is the way it is. I may eventually, I don't know, try to branch out to other video spaces just because I would love to share I just want to share my stuff. Growing up in the internet age, I've come to the belief that creative works like this, they should just be free. They should just be available. And we have the ability, the technology to do that. And we have the financial means to support artists and make it so that you could just create. We just aren't doing it. And in a beautiful world, it would be that way. But at least for myself, I can make my stuff free. And I will be charging a little for most of my writing, just to see if I can make it into a stream of income, maybe become a professional writer that way. But either way, I just want to make stuff and make it as available as I can. Anyway, that's my thoughts, so I guess that's it. Bye.